Howdy, AP PreCal. As promised, I am coming back to these problems right here. The second, or the, I got stuck in my previous video, which is very humbling for me. So I guess it's a good lesson for me to learn to be humble every now and then. I'm going to come back to this one in a second. This one, I found it a little more, it's tricky, but it's a little more obvious. What I see in here is that I see that well, I should show you on my phone now. I'm just going to own up and show you something kind of ridiculous. One of my personal habits is I play a whole lot of 2048. And so I don't know if anybody else plays 2048, but I will sit and listen to podcasts about, well, I like politics. And I'll sit and listen to podcasts and play 2048 for a very long time. And I'll just go and I'll go and I'll go. Point being that I now recognize the powers of 2. Okay, I'm going to put it away. I recognize the powers of 2 pretty quickly. And so when I see these numbers, they are not the powers of 2, but I recognize that this is 64 minus 1, and that this is 32 minus 1, and that this is 16 minus 1. My brain stopped. And this is 8 minus 1, and this is 4 minus 1. So what I am recognizing here is that I'm 1 less than a power of 2. Okay, so, but notice the powers of 2 are going down, which tells me that this is h. Okay, h of x is equal to, they're going down by half each time. It's half to the x minus 1. And so what would I want to plug in here? Well, my initial amount here would have been this 64. So if I have 64 times 1/2 to the x, when I plug in 0, that's just 1 times 64 is just 64 minus 1 is 63. And we can use our calculator and delete that. We can use our calculator to use our table function just to verify that we're correct. So this times 0.5 raised to the x. And when I go look at my table, there is guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to type in the whole equation. Minus 1. And you may notice they match. So isn't that wonderful? That one was pretty nice. Okay, so let's look at the other one. On this one, I could see that I was multiplying by 3, but I was struggling to figure out what this was equal to. But I may have gone and gotten a little assistance. This would be, this is equal to 4 minus 2. This is equal to 12 minus 2. This is equal to 36 minus 2. This is equal to 108 minus 2. This is equal to 324 minus 2. And this, 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 3 is 36. 36 times 3 is 108. 108 times 3 is 324. That was hard for me to see. You saw in my previous video, I did not get there. This is g of x. And so what we had here is we had 4 times 3 to the x minus 2 becomes our equation. Do I have any shortcuts or strategies to help you figure that out? No? Play around, look at... The trick is, this was nice because we were really close to powers of 2. That was easy to see. I could figure out from here that I needed my 3 to be my base. What else would I suggest? Well, what should I have done that I did not do this time? What I could have done is I was thinking that I had my g of x was equal to a times 3 to the x, a times 3 to the x plus b. Okay, so maybe this is, okay, here we go. I'm feeling better. If I knew that g of 0 would be equal to a times 3 to the 0 plus b, which would be equal to 2, this gives me the equation, this means implies, anything to the 0 power is 1, this gives me the equation that a plus b is equal to 2. And then I can also say, well, I know that g of 1 would be equal to a times 3 to the 1 plus b. 3 to the 1 would be equal to 10. So this equation becomes, well, 3 to the 1 is just 3. 3a plus b is equal to 10. Okay. Oh, I used a b. I think in the practice that I wrote for y'all, I made this a d because that would have been nicer because usually it's a, b, and then the c goes up with x, and then d is over here. My bad, whatever. Okay, so if I multiply this, I can take my system, I would do substitution. 3a plus b equals 10. And then I would say negative a minus b equals negative 2. This becomes a 2a is equal to 8. Therefore, a is equal to 4. Is that what I got just a minute ago? My a value out. Ha, 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 ha. Oh, happy day. Okay, so there you go. That's what I would do. And then we could plug this back in. We know that, what do we know? We know that a plus b equals 2. And so this tells us that b would have to equal negative 2, which sure enough, there it is. So once, okay. I'm finally happy. Once I realized that the difference here was being multiplied by 3, I knew that I needed a power of 3 to show up somewhere. Then I could write this with the variables that I knew that I needed and kind of go from there. So if you see the fact that this is 4 minus 2 and 12 minus 2 and 36 minus 2 and 108 minus 2 and 324 minus 2, life is good for you. But if you don't see it, then once you see that our base is 3, then I can write some equations and solve my system. Now, it would be possible to say that g of x is equal to a times b to the x plus d, and then I have 3 variables and I could write 3 equations, but I hate to break it to you, that's going to be tricky. So once we figure out that this is 3, life got a little better. Okay, I hope that's helpful. Let me know if you have questions. Go practice. The only way to learn this is to practice.